Hey guys. All right, so I have another one for you. I'm trying to kind of revisit the cases that haven't been solved yet to see if I can get more clarification with the cards to kind of back up the reading and figure all that out. I still have to do like some work on a map with Dulce because this is going to be for Dulce Alavez. I worked so much on this case, but it's so confusing. I did a lot of Autowrites, so I know there's a lot of interconnects in there, and that was when things were kind of all over the place. I've tried to do a couple more readings, but they're still not clear. I did a live reading last, and now we know I don't do live readings anymore. So I'll probably follow it up actually with either an auto write of my like doing it differently than I was before. More focused probably with my consult, or I'm gonna do it with Lizzie. So um I do plan on revisiting this because this is one that's really bugged me for a while. I actually have some maps. Once I can figure out how to use them, I'll try the pendulum on them a little bit. So again, this is just cards. This is if you go back into the readings, there's probably a lot of things in those readings. Like I get everything for a reason. So whenever I do these cards, I'm not taking away anything from my readings, but and it doesn't mean that like more readings are going to help because sometimes we can do too many readings and do too much and it can mix everything up. So again, I just do what I'm led to do. Spirit has been really pushing me with the cards because not only will it help me, but it might bring more clarification to the case. So I'm learning as well. I'm probably doing this wrong. Actually, there's no wrong way. I'm doing it following my intuition. We all have our own ways that we do things. So if other people don't do it this way, that's fine. This is the way that I'm doing it and I'm feeling led to do it. So I do pull actually a lot of cards and I don't have like a full setup right now. So as stated in Summer's video, I'm going to just like take the camera down, show you guys the cards, and then I'll kind of explain what I feel with the cards and how it makes sense. Now it is draining me a little bit, so I am actually using a lot of my energy to do this. It's not as draining as a full reading, but I'm feeling a little high and ungrounded. So their energy is with me while I'm doing this. So it is all in how we perceive things. So I may perceive the cards wrong, but I'm going to do my best to try to understand what's being said here with the cards. Okay? And I may not completely understand it or I may not be able to perceive everything, but I'm just going to do the best that I can to try to understand it and come from an intuitive side on what I feel these cards are saying. Okay? And like I said, I'll show you guys the cards and then I'm going to kind of go through each one of them and I feel a little out of it right now for some reason. I probably shouldn't have done one more. I didn't realize this was going to take so much energy, but it truly is. So this is for entertainment purposes only. Everyone's innocent until proven guilty. Again, these are just cards, and I'm using them as extra on my cases. Um, so this will be in her playlist. And again, I kind of drop things until I feel a pull back. So I'm kind of feeling a pull back to Dulce for a reason. Sometimes it's due to timing. And then I will try to this case has bugged me so much. I've never been able to get a clear anything. All cases are different, all spirits are different. I've never been able to tell if she's alive or not. This has just been really confusing case for me, and sometimes they are. Sometimes they're more cut and dry. They're going to be solved. Sometimes they're not. Sometimes there's lots of energy going on around a case, with a lot of different things. Sometimes the collective can really play a role, especially with me. So I'm definitely I don't, as far as my readings are concerned with my auto rights, I know I did a lot of there's a lot of interconnects, but also there's truth mixed in there. So I'm always learning and growing, and this is just something else that Spirit's wanting me to do, something extra for cases to kind of get a better view from things and maybe even a little bit more intuition as I go through them. So with me as I get things going. So these are the cards so far. I'll explain them all and what I feel in just a minute. I'm showing you the way that you can't, I don't have enough room. Like I got a new desk and everything and all right. I'm going to go in order in the way that I pulled the cards. Okay. So we got an object, a weapon, missing, and deceased. So according to these cards, she's deceased, but she was missing first. And there's been a weapon that was used on her at some point. What's confusing here The next cards, it's murder for hire, natural causes, toxic food shortage, assault, strangulation, and trapped. So it could be that there's some kind of hiring going on, meaning that someone paid someone else to get her, or that he got money out of it, or um, that there's something bigger behind it. That's the way that I take it. Natural causes and food shortage. The natural causes, she could have had something else going on with her. Like maybe they kept her for a little bit and she got sick from not being fed enough, or something going on with the food. Because I also get assault. So that tells me I feel like she was possibly assaulted. Strangulation I've gotten before. That comes in with the assault card. So assault and strangled and trapped. In my readings, I have got strangulation before, and I do feel a ton of pressure here. Trapped, meaning that she was trapped. She couldn't go anywhere. They had her. That's how I take that. Okay. So the who is kind of interesting. So it looks like we have a spouse partner. So this is going to be somebody, I'm going to take it according to the other cards as this is somebody that's possibly married or was married or has a spouse. There's a law enforcement card, so there could be some sort of connection to law enforcement, not necessarily saying that they are law enforcement, but there could be a connection to law enforcement. Affluent, meaning that there's somebody that is more affluent somewhere. Hiding out or retired. So they're hiding. This part is the interesting part because I got conman and thief, which he stole her. So, but he could have been in their lives conning them in some other way of pretending to be someone that he's not because of the other cards that I see here. So it comes in conman, thief, male, devil. So friend, grandparent. So I take it as this is like a possible friend to the grandparent that was a devil, but they didn't know that. I'm getting a head. Oh, my head hurts. Okay. That's interesting because I'm getting like severe head pain now all of a sudden. I think I used to get headaches with her too. I'm not sure. But I've got to be onto something if I'm just getting I'm super hot all of a sudden too. But I must be getting head pain for a reason with that. Um, so I mean it could be I'm taking these as a friend of the grandparents or somebody that they thought was a friend, but it's actually a devil and it's a male and he's a thief because he stole them. Maybe he conned them in some way too. Like maybe he knew them and he conned them in some way. Or and also thief, like he could have stolen other things, in his past or whatever. Um, because we also have below that child terrorist, friend, stranger, burglar. So he's a child terrorist. So that means maybe he's done things for to other children in his past, and he was a friend of theirs, but he might be a stranger to Dulce, or they thought he was a friend, but he's actually a stranger because they don't really know who he is. You know what I mean? Like sometimes we can have friends, but we don't really know who they are, or who they could be. And then burglar. So that goes back with the thief. So he could have some kind of thief in his past, but also he stole her. He took her. So that's, he did take her. But anyways, child terrorist. So that tells me like I take it as like he's a child. He's a terrorist to the children. He's a terrorist to a child. But friend stranger. So he was either a stranger to Dulce or they thought he was a friend, but he's actually they don't know him like they thought they did. But I take it as a friend to a grandparent that's actually the devil. So the way that I'm reading this is that they probably knew who he was or they knew of him. It can just be an acquaintance. It doesn't necessarily mean they knew him really well. But the friend cards, I think in my readings I've gotten a connection to the grandparents or family before. Actually. And the nursery. So maybe he worked for them or something. I get that. But after I said that, I got a major headache. So that's got to be something. All right. So now we got so location wise. This location kind of matches everything I got. I just don't think I got as much water as I did with these cards. There's tons of water with these cards. So we got in actually in New Jersey in that area there is a lot of water. So there's boat mountains outside, tunnel, underwater. So we could take it as like how those tunnel things are underwater that lead to water or whatever, or they have like those round things. You could take it as that too. But we have the beach and water again. It's water and water supply. So that tells me it's going to be a place where there's a beach, water. Um, I don't know how to take the mountains part. It could be also someplace she was held first and then taken. Because I think maybe I get the feeling she was held for a little bit. I don't think it happened right away because of the food shortage thing. I don't even know if he really, I don't know. So, anyways, we have boat, mountains, outside tunnel, underwater, beach, water, water supply, burial, road. So, say it could be that she's underwater in some way, shape, or form. So sometimes when things flood, it goes underwater. Even if it could be an underwater burial, or it could be that she was buried and now it's kind of flooded with water, depending on probably the time of year. It looks like it's next to a road and there's hollow earth involved, and it says hidden. I got the hidden card, so she's definitely hidden. Barrel, wooded area, water, location again. Then we got water, wooded area, and school. I've always gotten the school in some way. So this would be things in the area, okay? Then we have public building, vehicle. I do feel the vehicle is more or less like I'm taken somewhere in a vehicle, um it doesn't mean that she's in the vehicle now. I don't feel, but it may have something to do in the whole grand scheme of things. Then we've got outside. It was interesting with this outside ones that has train tracks. I believe I've gotten train tracks before. So that's kind of interesting. Then we have random area and then we have dumped. But the dumped card is next to the random area card. Sorry, I wish I was more technological savvy and had more equipment to like do this better, but this is how we're going to do it for now. What's important is the information. Um there's going to be a lot of water around here. I pulled almost every water card that I have. Boat, and there's a lot of boats in like the harbor and stuff there. But boat, underwater, beach, water supply. Hollow earth, water, wooded area. Feel like there's gonna be a school nearby. I've always gotten that. She's hidden, so she's not out in the open at all. That's why she hasn't been found. Hope these cards are right, because I've never been able to tell if she's deceased or not. Like, but that's the way the cards are showing. So then we have blackmail. So I wonder if there had been a blackmail at some point. There's a distraction. I feel like there was. I mean, there was a distraction when she was taken. So that makes sense. Ritual. So ritual is something that you do all the time. So it could be that he's done this before. Propaganda, fake news. So there might be some fake news out there that's not right. We have abuse, neglect. We have freedom. So she's free from the abuse, neglect. I mean, you could take that in a couple ways. You could take that as it depends on if she was being abused at home or not, but the freedom card is coming next to the abuse, neglect card. Then we have an inside job. So if we go back to somebody that they knew, that could be why I pulled the inside job. But he's having regrets because there's a regret card. Then we have the intuition card and the struggle card. So he's struggling with what happened and who he is, because I feel like there's an internal struggle with this guy. There's a secret trip that was taken and perversion, boner zone, because that's probably what he struggles with as well. There's a timeline issue. The truth will come out eventually. I mean, this is basically already a cold case, but hopefully I'm hoping the truth comes out, because there's legal proceedings next to that. Now, a lot of times, sometimes there's cold cases that are solved 20 years later, so we just have to hang on to that. There's also travel. I got the travel card and I got a secret trip as well. So he might like travel, or I mean, I always wondered if like she was taken out of the area, but I don't know. Like that's not clear. Then we have money and secret. So maybe some secret money here, or I don't know. Then we have the investigation, argument, guilty, break-in, which I mean, we keep getting burglar here and thief, which he did steal her. So you could take that as any way. He did steal her, but he may also be some sort of thief or a con man as well. Like he might pretend to be someone that he's not. That's how it comes across. We got fingerprints planned, so this was planned. So he's probably watching camera, which I know that there's footage. He is on camera, but it also might be somewhere. And then we got the justice card again. So according to this, there's gonna be some kind of justice come in. This almost feels like, again, this is somebody that had to have known the family or something, which I think I've gotten before. And as I'm talking about that, I keep going back to the nursery. So, um, okay, so I pulled those other 3 cards that I usually use, but I also pulled, I wanted some clarification, so I was looking for the trip, but I got, like, secret trip, like, maybe he moved out of the area now or something. I don't but I got fired intoxication, so that means he drinks, which I've gotten that before. Loyal and stalking. So he was stalking her, and he does drink. Loyal to the intoxication, so it makes me wonder if he drinks quite a lot. I feel like he's Mexican or Hispanic, or I've never gotten a white guy. It says, and then so these cards I got, a friend knows something. So we just got friend. So yeah. Then this is interesting. Dating history or killer knew of the victim. Or killer knew of the victim. So that, since obviously Dulce, this is going to be relating to her family knowing the victim, or her family knowing the perpetrator, sorry. Who knows, maybe mom dated him. Killer had an argument or disagreement with the victim, so I would take that as like a disagreement with the family. I'm going to take it as that because of how this is playing out. This is so weird. This case is like weird to me. There's like so much more involved in this case. We got the fear, stalking, fear, cleanup, manipulation, corruption, and the justice card again. Okay, so it looks like there's going to be justice. It's going to come eventually. He was stalking her. I thought so. I feel like I always get this eerie feeling of like he was watching her. I always got a reference to like this guy doing roses or gardening or something and watching her. And I'm still getting that. I keep wanting to go back to the like nursery. Didn't like the grandparents have like a nursery or something? It's someone that knows the family. It's not coming across as like a stranger. I don't know if they knew him really well, but anyways. All right. I think that's what I got for this. I'm gonna try to do some map work on her if I can figure out how to do the map. I suck at maps, but somebody sent me a paper map, but I just have to find the area on the map. I'm not a map person. So, you know, we'll keep updated on this, and I might revisit this soon. We'll see. So I thank you guys for liking, subscribing, being here, and supporting me through my new endeavors of me trying new things. Sincerely appreciate it. Hopefully this was helpful.